Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here. It is Sunday, June the 23rd, and it is the 12th Sunday in Ordinary Time. So the first reading this Sunday is taken from the book of the prophet Job. Who is this? Now, the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind. So this is at the very end of Job, chapter 38. Who is this that darkens counsel by words without knowledge? I will question you, and you shall declare to me, God says. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who shut in the sea with doors when it burst out from the womb, when I made the clouds its garments and prescribed bounds for it, and so on and so on. So you got to know that what precedes this, Job is this good man. He's put to the test. He loses absolutely everything. He doesn't defy God, doesn't curse God. But then these three friends come, and if you have friends like this, who needs enemies? And they basically want to know what Job has done, what sin he's committed, because in the ancient world, you lost everything, you were poor, you must have done something, and you deserve this. Get it? If you're suffering, what sin did he commit? Even the apostles say that about the blind man. What sin did he commit? Was it him or his parents? So there was a causal link in their minds to committing sin and then deprivation of goods in this life. So if you had all the things in this life, then you were obviously blessed by God. When we know better now, it could actually wind up being a curse if you're blessed, if you're rich and you ignore God, because that makes you blind and stupid to what really matters. Anyways, so we got this debate going on. They go at him. And at the end, basically, Job doesn't curse God, but he starts to question God. And God sort of appears and says, Job is the one who's debating with me, right? You three have spoken wrong about me, and you better ask Job to pray for you, otherwise I'm going to punish you. So this is the beginning of it. And basically, God is actually interacting with Job. I think that's part of understanding this mysterious book, because it's all about suffering. It's actually the most difficult book in the Bible, not Apocalypse. It's Job, because Job deals with suffering. And basically, God is actually giving Job the dignity of conversing with him and basically saying, you don't know everything. You actually know very little. And you think you know everything. I truly know everything. I have a plan. You don't understand it. You never will. Little bits and pieces, but all you need to do is trust that I know what I'm doing. That's a kind of, the nutshell. There's a lot more, and I just can't do it justice, because we're dealing with this, difficult thing of suffering, and I don't want to diminish the importance of suffering, but got to move on. Second reading, 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Brothers and sisters, the love of Christ urges us on, because we are convinced that one has died for all, therefore all have died, and he died for all, so that all who live might live no longer for themselves, but for him who died and was raised for them. So he's talking obviously about Jesus and the blessing we have received because of what Jesus has done for us. So another way Paul could have put this, where sin abounds, grace abounds all the more. So yes, we can't diminish the devastation wrought by sin, but if we truly reflect on how God has answered this, he hasn't walked away from us. He hasn't coddled us. He's not sort of doing it for us, but he has actually entered into our life. He suffered and died for our sins. He's showing us how to get through it, to navigate through it. And St. Paul says, once we consider this, all that has been done for us, all the love that has come our way, true, powerful love, then the love of Christ urges us on, all right? It will urge you on. It will help you to persevere. It will make you resilient. That's my new insight. It will make you resilient. I know it's not mine, but it's what sort of hit upon me these past couple of weeks. Prayer makes you resilient. Meditating upon these mysteries makes you resilient to all sorts of adversity, suffering. So prayer makes you resilient. That's why, and giving thanks actually makes you resilient if it's a deep, heartfelt, sincere thanks to God. Okay, over to the gospel. When evening came, Jesus said to his disciples, let us go across to the other side. And leaving the crowd behind, they took Jesus with them in the boat, just as he was. Other boats were with him. So they're in the boat, they're in the middle of the lake, this great storm, and Jesus is asleep. That's a sound conscience, right? So Jesus was in the stern asleep. They wake him up and they say, we are perishing. And he wakes up and he says, peace, be still. Then this wind ceased and there was a dead calm. And then he says, why are you afraid? These poor guys. These poor guys. It's like, why are you afraid? Like, what is your problema? It's a serious thing because he says, have you still no faith? Don't you think about who I really am? Do you believe? Do you have faith? Do I have faith? We don't really know, do we? We believe, but has it really been tested like this when your life is in danger? Their life was in danger. They weren't certain of the outcome. We are because we see it in hindsight. They weren't. Jesus was asleep. If they woke him up and said, we're perishing, obviously they didn't know what was going to happen, right? So you and I, we need to be very humble about our faith. Pray for faith, stronger faith, an active faith, a loyal faith every single day. Don't ever, ever, ever take it for granted. Don't ever say, I believe, I'm going to believe till I die. You don't know anything, and I don't know anything either. All we know is that today I can ask God to help me believe, to strengthen my faith, to deepen it, and so on. And then if we do that every day, trusting that the Lord will help us, we're going to be okay. God bless you.